The state tournament season finishes up with the B, and it should be an A-plus event with 4 teams from last year's tournament returning, including defending state champ Kindred. That's where things will start as the second-seeded Vikings take on Bowman County in the opening quarterfinal at 1 o'clock on Thursday. Coincidentally, the two teams met in a football semifinal just over 4 months ago. Bowman County is state-bound for the first time in 13 years after riding the 4-seed upset train through regions, capping things off with wins over top seed Beulah and 3-seed Hazen. After leading by just 1 after 3 quarters, the Bulldogs beat up on the Bison 27-7 in the final quarter. Sophomores Bowden and Bishop Duffield are the go-to guys for Nick Walker's team, averaging 20 and 16 points respectively. Those two combined for 46 points in the region championship. Bowman County lost 4 of its last 7 games to close the regular season, but since then, a flip has been switched, and they don't plan on shutting it off.
Earlier when we played them, we didn't really have that much chemistry, but we got our team figured out, and we're here now, and we competed, and we won.
We need to guard better, of course, we always can, but if we bring this intensity and make some shots, we'll compete.
Kindred is hoping to have the other 7 teams singing the blues for a second straight season as they chase back-to-back crowns. The Vikings come in with 20 wins against 2 losses, and if they play to their full potential like they did in the region championship win over Enderlin, it's hard to imagine a team being able to stop them. Paul Olson and Jaden Peraza were putting on a slam dunk competition over the Eagles, and as a team, Kindred crashed the offensive glass relentlessly. Olson, last year's state tournament MVP, averages over 14 points per game and is shooting over 60% from the floor. His 6'5" frame and ball handling skills make him such a difficult matchup. Meanwhile, Peraza is bouncy and always seems to be in the right spot at the right time, averaging 10 points a game. Max McQuillan has superb vision on the floor, averaging 4 assists to go with his 9 points. This group isn't short on talent, and they also know what it takes this time of year.
When you get to the end of the season, it's going to be defense is the key. Everybody's a good team, and it's just whoever has more heart is usually the team that comes out on top.
We've been working on offensive, defensive rebounding and being relentless in getting those second, third opportunities and the 50-50 balls.
You know, my motto is just get every rebound that you can, and once you get those rebounds, you can just put it back in, and it pays off.
Well, being back-to-back champs isn't the only thing on the Vikings' mind. They want to match their girls' team and make it a Kindred sweep for the Class B titles this winter.
After the girls won, we were just thinking to ourselves that we got to get it done now. We got to get back there. It's so much fun to watch the girls play, but it's even more fun to play it yourself.
It's an all-private school clash in Game 2 with third-seeded Shiloh Christian against Bishop Ryan. The Skyhawks are hoping for a similar start that they had in the region championship, where they opened the game against Wilton Wing on an impressive 34-8 run. The Miners did end up drawing within 5 in the fourth quarter, but the Skyhawks punched their ticket to state for the 5th straight year. The Skyhawks thrive off running their offense through the post and 6'7" senior Carter Englund, who showed off some range in the region final as well. Englund averages a team-best 15.5 points per game and nearly 9 boards. Right alongside him is Jay Wanzik, who's become a walking double-double at 13 and 9 tonight. Mabahi Barker is the straw that stirs the drink for the offense, dishing out nearly 5 dimes per contest. The Skyhawks have taken their lumps this season, including losses to the top 2 seeds in this year's tournament, Four Winds-Minnewaukan and Kindred, but they're hoping those learning lessons will pay off this weekend. Bishop Ryan missed out on state each of the last 2 seasons, but the Lions are back after knocking out Belva for the Region 6 crown, 59-43. A couple of juniors lead the way on the score sheet for Bishop Ryan. 6'3" Brady Feller averages 19 a game, while Ian Johnson scores a dozen a night. Feller is a 1,000-point scorer, while Johnson has a smooth jump shot. The Lions also get a boost off the bench courtesy of a couple of freshmen in Jet Lundeen and 6'5" Ramsey Walls. Broderick Bosch's team can enter Thursday night's game with plenty of confidence too, knowing that they beat Shiloh Christian back in December.
We got to be the best defensive team. We got to rebound the best, and then we just got to stay us, true to ourselves, and do what we do best.
I think we do well on the defensive end, and we rebound pretty well, especially when we want to, I guess you can say. Yeah, we have no problem scoring the ball. All of our guys can score 1 through 5. So I think our defense is our best part.
After running the table and defeating some of the toughest opponents in the state, it's no wonder why Four Winds-Minnewaukan earned the top seed and will play Stanley in quarterfinal number 3. Rick Smith's team opened the season with 3 straight big-time wins against Enderlin, Beulah, and Trinity and never looked back. They've made scoring 80 points look easy this year behind a host of talented shooters. Playmaking senior Jaden Yankton averages a gaudy 27 points per game and can break your heart defensively, averaging 3.5 steals per game. 6'4" sophomore Dang Dang is another splashy athlete with plenty of bounce. He averages 17 points a game and is typically good for 8 rebounds and a couple of blocks each night. It's not all about scoring for this squad, though. They're holding teams to under 49 points a game. Four Winds-Minnewaukan graduated a talented senior class last year, including 4 of 5 starters. But the one that they did return, Yankton, has proved to be invaluable.
The way he leads in practice, the way he stays after in practice, the way he comes in on weekends and does certain things to make his game better. But I was more impressed with his leadership skills than his basketball skills on this team this year. And that's what I'm really proud of, the way he really stepped up and took on the leadership role.
I thought we were going to be just fine, after when state ended last year, the season was done, I knew that we were all going to put in the work that we needed to do to get back to the B. That's what, the confidence that we had playing those top 3 teams right off the bat, it felt good. So going on to the season, we're going to be just fine.
Stanley is one of the dark horses of the bunch. The Blue Jays are back at state for the first time since Wyatt Hansen was rim-rocking them there back in 2017 and 2018. Stanley comes in with 6 losses on the year, but 3 of those were courtesy of Powers Lake, the team they finally overcame in the region final with a 55-43 win. The Blue Jays are at their best when they can slow the game down, but that might not be an option against Four Winds-Minnewaukan that's been known to force opponents to play at their rapid pace. Sophomore Josh Hetzel leads the scoring charge for the Blue Jays at 13 points a game. He's particularly sharp from the perimeter. Stanley is also a good rebounding team, and they'll look for any advantage they can get going into a tough first-round matchup. The Lake quarterfinal pits Region 2 against Region 3 as Grafton takes on LaMoure-Litchville-Marion. I think everyone knew from the start that Region 3 would come down to LLM and Ellendale. How did the Lobos ultimately punch their ticket? By holding Ellendale to a measly 23 points in the region final. In fact, they were up 23-2 at halftime. That's been the formula all year for Darren Thielge's team. Only 4 teams have scored over 50 on them all season. A big reason why they come into state with a 22-3 record. The roster is full of experience with 5 seniors and 4 juniors, many of which helped the Lobo football team to the 9-man title in the fall. Corbin Potts was the quarterback on that squad, and he's the go-to guy on the hardwood too, leading the team in points, rebounds, assists, and blocks. But there's much more to this team that stats can show. They've endured unimaginable adversity following the death of teammate Carter Bowman in early January. The team has rallied around the Bowman family, including Carter's older brother Charlie, who's a senior leader on the team. It's a group that has come together and is hoping to create some special memories at the B.
They've lost a buddy, in small towns, you grew up with your friends and your classmates, and stuff, and going up through that, and it doesn't go away. I mean, it's there yet every single night. It's easier to take the basketball court now at this point after a couple months, but it's always there. I mean, every day, every game before the national or during the national anthem, I'm thinking about and praying for Carter and his family. I mean, that's the situation that's truly real. He impacted different players, and so they are the people they are because of the interactions they had with Carter. So in that sense, we have him with us each night on the floor.
Too many great seniors to replace, like Brandon Albrecht and the Garzas. They're too young. There are better teams in the region. Grafton heard it all this year, and here they are back at state for the second straight season after spoiling the party at the Region 2 dance. They didn't pick up their first real signature win until February 25th when they beat region top seed Thompson, and then followed with a win over then second-ranked Central Cass. None of their 3 region playoff wins came easy either, including a 2-point victory over Hillsboro Central Valley in Thursday's championship at the Betty. Tony Valerio poured in a game-high 26 in that game, and he's one of 3 sophomores that have starred this year, along with Braylon Baldwin and Ryan Hansen. 6'4" senior Will Jiskra is the heart and soul of the squad, averaging 13 points and 12.5 rebounds a game. The Spoilers may have been a work in progress for much of the season, but the last few weeks, they've raised their game to a new level.